Now, the Manipur violence also the topic of debate as the no confidence motion is taking place in Parliament, and this was brought against the government by the opposition. The debate started with loud sloganeering, and Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi opened the debate with heated exchanges, and he said the opposition bloc India was forced to bring the no confidence motion against Prime Minister Modi because of his vow of silence on Manipur. Remember, the opposition has been asking him to speak up on the violence that has taken place. Gaurav Gogoi alleged that a government which talks about one India has created two Manipurs, one living in the hills, the other in the valley. The BJP on its part questioned why Rahul Gandhi's name as lead speaker was withdrawn at the last minute. This was something reported widely. Congress sources had said that Rahul Gandhi, who's been freshly reinstated in Parliament, would open the debate, but now it seems he's unlikely to speak today. In fact, he'll speak on the same day as the Prime Minister will give the closing remarks. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey said Prime Minister Modi in the BJP parliamentary meeting earlier said that this is not a vote to express distrust, but to see who can trust who in the opposition. So, alluding to distrust among the opposition alliance. Nishikant Dubey also targeted former Congress chief Sonia Gandhi, saying that she has only 2 jobs to set up her son and give presents to her son-in-law. Meanwhile, NCP leader Supriya Sule attacked the government over their failures on the economic front, accused them of hubris. She said no party with a difference, and hitting out over how there's violence against women in Manipur, while Kiran Rijiju accused the opposition of misleading people, making false statements, and that they will regret bringing in this motion.
कांग्रेस पार्टी मैं ये मानता हूं
सर साफ 3 सवाल है प्रधानमंत्री महोदय से। सवाल पहला कि आज तक वो मणिपुर क्यों नहीं गए? राहुल जी गए, इंडिया अलायंस के विभिन्न पार्टीज गए, गृह मंत्री जी गए, एमओएस होम गए, पर देश के मुखिया होने के नाते प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी क्यों नहीं गए? ये है सवाल पहला। सवाल दूसरा कि लगभग 80 दिन क्यों लगे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी को मणिपुर पे कुछ बोलने के लिए, और जब बोले तो सिर्फ 30 सेकंड के लिए बोले। सवाल हमारा तीसरा कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आज तक मणिपुर के मुख्यमंत्री को बर्खास्त क्यों नहीं किया?
वही एनके तिवारी जब मणिपुर में आईजी बनकर गए तो आपकी सरकार ने उसी ओपीएम लॉबी के तहत उनको गिरफ्तार कर लिया और कोर्ट ने कहा कि ये आप कर सकते हैं। और दूसरी बात यह है कि जिस सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट के आधार पर आए हैं उसने अभी जजमेंट नहीं दिया है, अभी स्टे ऑर्डर दिया है, और तो भी उन्होंने कहा है, लोग कहते हैं प्रधानमंत्री मौन है, प्रधानमंत्री माफी नहीं मांगते, प्रधानमंत्री चीजें नहीं बोलते। मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि ये क्या नहीं कर रहे हैं, या अभी भी कह रहे हैं, 2 चीजें कह रहे हैं। मैं माफी नहीं मांगूंगा। क्यों माफी मांगे भाई? मोदी तो बहुत छोटा जात है, नीच जात है, ओबीसी है, ओबीसी से क्यों माफी मांगेंगे? बड़े आदमी हैं। मेरे प्रधानमंत्री एक बात कहते हैं कि ये अविश्वास प्रस्ताव नहीं, प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं कि ये अविश्वास प्रस्ताव नहीं है, ये अपोजिशन में विश्वास प्रस्ताव है कि कौन अपोजिशन में कौन किसके साथ है। जब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने यह कहा तो मैंने सोचना शुरू किया सर कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ये बात क्यों कर रहे हैं? हमारे खिलाफ अविश्वास प्रस्ताव है, लेकिन वो कह रहे हैं कि ये अपोजिशन वाले अपने विश्वास प्रस्ताव की बात कर रहे हैं, और उसमें वो देखना चाहते हैं कि कौन दल सचमुच उनके साथ है। यहाँ सोनिया जी बैठी हुई हैं, सोनिया जी का मैं बड़ा सम्मान करता हूं सर। सोनिया जी, मुझे जो लगता है कि उनके पार्टी की उनकी 2 मनस्थिति है। वो एक हिंदू सभ्यता संस्कृति में बिलीव कर रही हैं, इसीलिए अलौकिका पंडिता की तरह जो पूरा किताब में लिखा हुआ है कि क्या क्या करना चाहिए एक भारतीय नारी को, उसका पूरा का पूरा पिक्चर सोनिया जी देती है। उनको 2 काम करना है, बेटे को सेट करना है और दामाद को भेंट करना है।
आज का जो अविश्वास प्रस्ताव लाए हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी, मैं ये मानता हूं कि कांग्रेस पार्टी और विपक्ष के जो लोग हैं वो खुद ही बाद में पछताएंगे। I want to tell on record that the opposition party will regret that this no confidence motion is brought in a wrong timing in a in a wrong manner. आप इंडिया नाम रखने से कुछ नहीं होता है. भारत के विरोध काम करेंगे और नाम इंडिया रखेंगे. ये हमारे देश के लोग पूरा देख रहे हैं. आप लोगों का जो गुमराह करने का तरीका है, उस बहकावे में कोई आने वाला नहीं है.
I have always believed that the Congress party is adept at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. They are also very adept at cutting their nose to spite their face. And I say this advisedly. They know every time the Prime Minister has got up to speak on the floor of this House, I mean, they actually go through a shredding machine. So I cannot understand why they should cut their nose to spite their face, ask him to come to the House and put them through the shredder, as I have no doubt he will when he replies on Thursday. So this defies common sense, it defies logic, it defies political sense. I believe that there are other arguments that would have been more persuasive. The people of this country will decide if the Prime Minister has chosen not to speak, whether that was right or that was wrong. It's for the people to decide. And you have to take that case to the people.
जी, there's a tweet I remember where there were issues raised. अच्छे दिन कहते थे आप, अच्छे दिन आएंगे. मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, health and survey index, India has gone down. Hunger index, down. Human freedom index, down. World happiness index, down. Environment protection index, down. Gender equality, down. Democracy, down. So many, और कितने भी पढ़ा हुआ टेबल कर दूंगी सर. Whenever I think of this government, the first thought that comes to my mind, the word that comes to my mind is hubris. It is, I'd like to quote the Mahatma Gandhi, it is unwise to be too sure of one's wisdom. Every time this government talks, they're only not talking about the moment. It's the future. हम तो आने वाले, आप तो खत्म होने वाले. Every opposition तो है ही नहीं. This is a democracy. We should encourage each other. And while this is going on, the only word I can think of for the attitude and the approach, even the ministers, when we are sitting here say, अरे इनको तो हाउस चलाना ही नहीं है, ये नहीं करना चाहते. अभी तो जुम्मे आए हो राज्यसभा से. And then you're going to judge us. भूल गए, आप तो थे नहीं तब. पता नहीं कौन से गवर्नमेंट में काम करते थे तब. They are judging all members of parliament. We are not officers, we are public servants. प्रधान सेवक जैसे प्रधानमंत्री बोलते हैं, हम भी सेवक ही यहाँ बैठे, उसी के लिए तो खड़े हैं यहाँ. So it's the attitude of this government is hubris, there is no other word.
Well, let's go across to our reporters now. We're joined by Megha and Sunil. And Sunil, first to you. Earlier, it was thought Rahul Gandhi would start the debate from the Congress's part, but it was Gaurav Gogoi, and now it seems Rahul Gandhi will speak on the last day?
That's right, on the last day. In fact, if you look at the no-confidence motion, the procedure is that the Congress will get the last word because they move the motion. It will be interesting to see who will be the last speaker to respond to the Prime Minister after he speaks on the floor of the House. So it's in that backdrop that Rahul Gandhi, who was initially to start the debate, it was decided that let Northeast MP, Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, who had actually moved the motion, who has also been part of the India delegation, who visited Manipur, and who made a brilliant speech today to raise those issues concerning the people of Manipur and the entire country, on how, from drug mafia, the involvement of the chief minister, to the continuing violence that is taking place, all those points being brought across. A good day in Parliament, debate and discussion taking place on the floor of the House on important matters, and clearly trying to ensure one way or the other that the temple of democracy continues to have repose faith in the people of this country, that they can discuss and debate. Of course, as you are well aware, Gargi, the reason for why they've done this is because the Prime Minister had avoided Parliament on this entire issue, and they wanted and they've used this rare parliamentary tool of getting a no-confidence motion to get the Prime Minister on the floor of the House to respond to the various points that are raised by the opposition through this no-confidence motion.
Right, and Megha, Nishikant Dubey, who spoke first for the government, for the BJP, also hit out at the Gandhis. Also spoke about how it's more to do, again hitting out at opposition, disunity, saying they don't know if they can trust one another. So once again attacking the Alliance India.
Yes, I think I would say that was the core of the speech that Nishikant made, and Nishikant Dubey was the first speaker from the side of the Treasury benches. And his speech, more or less, apart from, of course, taking jibes at the opposition and more so at the Gandhi Parivar and the Congress, was also a lot about, the India Alliance. It was a lot about the history of these small parties, regional parties with each other, and how they have been towards each other in the past. And he made a few pertinent points. He talked about the cases, especially the cases of the CBI, the Enforcement Directorate, and the Income Tax. The major cases that these parties face. For example, he talked about the NCP and the irrigation scam. He also talked about Chhagan Bhujbal being sent to jail, and made a point that it was Prithviraj Chavan of the Congress who had initiated these investigations. It was the ACB under Mr. Prithviraj Chavan when he was the Chief Minister in Maharashtra. So a Congress government, working against its own ally partner NCP back then. He also talked about DMK. He also talked about Farooq Abdullah's NC, and he said, reminded everybody in the opposition as to who it was who had jailed Farooq Abdullah's father, Sheikh Abdullah, for good about 22 years. It was the Congress party back then. So this way he just broke it down for the DMK, for the NCP, for the NC, and talked about and Samajwadi Party, Mulayam Singh, etc. And actually named specific cases. And it just seemed back around that time, that the major investigations against all of these parties and their tall leaders was something that was done by previous governments, and those investigations carried on. So then he kept making this point about, if Congress has done all of this to you, these are previous Congress governments who have initiated cases, then why should you have a problem with the BJP, number one? And you should look within and understand, who you're allying with at this moment. And you are the parties who've been the loggerheads. You are the parties who fought, tooth and nail bitterly with each other. And today, for the sake of, this is a compulsion, it's a political compulsion that has brought you together because you want to defeat the BJP and you can't do it yourself. So, yes, it was a lot about India Alliance. And I think, the prominent speakers who would be speaking from the Treasury benches, especially the ministers also, you should expect this point to be reiterated, because here, they are actually attacking that one formation, the new formation, the India formation, and it is the India formation's decision, to bring in the no confidence motion. It was not one party, all 26 of them came together and decided that this was the only way you could get the Prime Minister into the House and make him speak. So yes, they are the target of a lot of ridicule, bitterness, politics, all of that from the side of the government also, because the government believes, the Treasury benches and the BJP believes that here it's nothing but you trying to make a statement, when we repeatedly said that let Mr. Amit Shah, the man who's handling the situation in Manipur, make a statement. You refused it, and this is what you ended up doing. You wanted a no confidence motion. Well, let's get a no confidence motion, but then once you have a debate on a no confidence motion, then you cannot restrict the speakers of both sides, of the opposition and the Treasury benches. You can't restrict the speakers to one issue. So the floor is open and everybody is speaking about the issues they want to.